everyone, Jay Staples, Sober Caddy Chronicles, and changing the way that we feel. Most addicts, alcoholics, use drugs and alcohol and use a wide variety of other things, but in drugs and alcohol was always my solution, and that was always the way of getting outside of myself and changing the way that I felt, and whatever the case may be. And that falls directly right back to finding your authentic self and getting connected with yourself. And so I keep talking about it, and I keep doing over and over again, and more people want to reach out and ask questions and so forth like that. When drugs and alcohol get to the point where you're using it to change the way that you feel, and you're using other things, gambling and sex and eating and shopping and spending and whatever it may be, you get into recovery, you take away drugs and alcohol, and then people are shocked that he was never like this, she never did that, so you start using sex, and you gamble, and you spend, and you overeat, or whatever it may be. You may not be doing drugs and alcohol, but this is also long-term solution, and long-term recovery is about getting connected with yourself, and it's monitoring and taking a look at changing the way that you feel. Now, everyone in long-term recovery always has their advices that they go to, or whatever it may be, and I often joke, well, I need to change the way that I feel. I'm feeling I'm in a lot of fear, I'm anxious, or angry, or whatever it is, and that's all right to joke about, but in reality we have to take a close look at a lot of those situations and so forth like that. So changing the way that we feel, drugs and alcohol are that solution for addicts and alcoholics. And when we work with the families, and I work with the families and rewrite their stories, and we talk about what's going on in a day-to-day life and so forth, this goes back to early recovery is a long-term process, and there's a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of hustle and so forth. And again, coming out of treatment is not going to cure all. It's not going to be the end-all be-all and so forth like that. It's just starting the journey and so forth. And so long-term recovery and long-term solution, and getting into long-term recovery and long-term solution is about getting connected with who you are, and it's finding what's at the root of wanting to change the way that you feel and so forth like that. And so there's a healthy line, and there's a line that you cross and so forth. I'm in no position to tell you where that line is and what that line is all about, but we have to monitor changing the way that we feel. Drugs and alcohol have done that. In a lot of cases with addicts and alcoholics, it stopped being that. It stopped giving them that ease and comfort. Everyone's chasing that first high, or that first drink, or whatever it may be. You always hear that. We're always chasing that first high, first drink, first whatever, and so forth like that. Never comes. But we try doing that, and that's why we do more and more, and we start getting into the life or death situation of drugs and alcohol and addiction and so forth like that. And so the yearning and the search to change the way that you feel with drugs and alcohol is a deadly combination, and we always have to keep in mind that this is a life or death disease. But there is help, and there is hope. Sober Caddy works directly with families and clients, and we get to the heart of the issue, and we really want to start rewriting the story, and we really want to help in every way possible to find their authentic self, and we can do that. And we can find the authentic self, the core of the family as well. We can do that just with long-term recovery. That's all Sober Caddy does. We get recovery-focused eyes, and we put recovery first in the family and the addicts, and just the whole day-to-day operations and life of decisions. And it's worked in my case, and it's worked, therapy and fellowshipping and all this other stuff, that's a big part of it, and families need to keep progressing. Sober Caddy works directly with families, though, to empower, guide, coach, and point them in the right direction. We're there every decision, every day.